Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Wednesday, August the 10th, 2016. As you can see here, looking at a chart of the crude oil, big head fake here at the coming at the latter part of the trading session. Made you think it was going to pop up, and now it's being beaten down. It's being sold again, just like it did when it came popped its head up back here. And even though it's coming off now and it's still well supported at $40.47, the problem is that you're in a positive pulse wave cycle right now, but can it get past the $42.72 resistance? You're going to need to close above that. If it can't, then this $40.47 support is just it's going to just come cut down through it like a hot knife through butter, and that's going to be the end of your bull run in the oil. And then we're going to go down and test the lows. Momentum's coming down. It's getting into the oversold, but it's not there yet. All right, it has a lot much lower that it can go before you're done. Another thing to point out too with this oil though is notice how the trend lines are below the Kumo cloud, and we're in a well-defined bearish pattern now. So all this back up in here is over with. You're now below the Kumo cloud and accelerating to the downside. Not a good place to be if you're looking to be long the oil. All right, switching to the equity side of things, you can see here OIH is a little bit more prominent, more pronounced. Here you are below the Kumo cloud, and you're well supported down here at 2681. And again, you're in a bearish crossover. All right, back in here. Tried to go positive pulse wave now. We'll see if it can get legs. Anything can still happen, but just the way this market is looking, nah, I just see a retracement here of this right here. Now we're coming down and possibly putting in a new leg lower. It's just looking pretty bearish right now on the chart. Even though you're in a positive pulse wave situation right here, the way the market is behaving, it's showing some selling pressure that could really get ugly in the near term. All right, looking at the U.S. dollar, as you can see here, closed a little bit off the lows, but overhead resistance at 96.92 is still intact. Getting into oversold right now, but this market, it's one of those things where no matter what you see on the chart, it's going to be defended at some point. The government's not just going to let it just utterly collapse, if you will. I don't think it's just going to crash and burn. I just think it's going to continue to just move around the Kumo cloud here and hover around the 95 mark, get up to about 96, 96.50. Just trade in this range that you found itself right now. Here it is right here, the 96 to 95 level. So that's it. You're just going to trade within 95 and 96 for the extended period of time to this Kumo cloud here. Switching over to the Nikkei. Nikkei managed to get above the Kumo cloud on the daily chart, and things are trying to point up, trying to get some momentum. We are overbought though. It's looking like it wants to try to lock something in here and get up to 1700 and play catch up with the U.S. stock market. So this is going to be interesting. You're in a positive pulse wave situation here too. Market's well supported at 1611. All right, looking at the Dow now. The Dow has been a little changed overall. We're still trading within this bar right here. All right, the range is 18,472 to 18,273. So a 200-point trading range. That's it. All right. Nothing's happening here. Positive pulse wave situation. Still a bullish chart, but it's nothing happening. Is it a top? I don't know. Could be. This could make itself look like a bear trap. And boogie it back on up to 20,000. Again, I don't see anything bearish on the chart. Not yet, anyway. All right, looking at the NASDAQ futures, same thing. Um, Positive pulse wave. It's just trading in a range. You briefly traded above 4,800. That's the closest to 5,000 we've been in quite some time, and it's just looking powerful. That's all I can say. It's just looking powerful, and the trend is not over until it's over. So go figure. All right, same thing here with the QQQ. Going to the equity side of things, same situation here. Overhead resistance at 118.27. The 118.78 is a spike high, so it is not the real high. I repeat, 118.78 in the Qs is not the real high. It's a spike high, which means, just like I said before in the prior videos, remember what I taught you about spikes? Markets like to run to them and take them out. Spikes are just a glorified index finger that points in the direction that the market is heading. So that's what's going to happen here. It's going to be tested. It's going to be taken out. QQQ is just taking a break, getting ready to break out to the upside here. That's what it's looking like to me. Yeah, I know you're in a negative pulse wave, but you're in a negative pulse wave within a bullish trend, and you're not accelerating momentum to the downside. So you do the math. Okay, same thing with the SPY, S&P. Market's well supported at 214.93. And once again, you got a 218.76. That's a weak high, and I see that busted. Uh, Looks like we're going to get 220. We may even be able to do it by Friday. A quick look at Mickey D's. Look at the Mickey D's. Gap down here on this daily chart, and we have not filled this gap. Where do I think this is headed? I think it's going to play around here with this resistance, but eventually it's going to come up here and fill this gap. Even if it doesn't stay, it's going to have to deal with the gap. The gap has to be dealt with. This is a gap. Needs to be filled. At some point, this gap will be filled. Let's take a look. Gap here, right? Gap down again, gap down. What do we do? On the upside, we fill the gaps. Now we're gapping down. This gap is going to have to be reckoned with. Therefore, I do not see this being any accelerating momentum. Yeah, you're below the Kumo cloud, but all the other indicators are not below it just yet. And this gap is a big deal. It's like a magnet that's going to catapult this price from where it is now, 118, back up to at least 125. I think the real resistance is going to be around, 125. So 125 is my target for Mickey D's. Looking old faithful, old Walmart. Well supported at $72.71, trading above the Kumo cloud, but flatline, going absolutely nowhere. Just in a trading range from 72 to 74. It's in a positive pulse wave construct right now, but what else can you say? Overbought. There's not a lot going on here. It's boring. Bank of America, all right. Well supported at $14.26, and it's coming off of its highs here. Above the Kumo cloud, positive pulse wave. It's just a correction within this thing, but the banking sector, like I said, is underlining whack. The banking sector is whack, and that's all I'm going to say. Just, trade it, do what you need to do. Trade with your trend, but just understand that it's whack. There's things that are nefarious behind the scenes that you know not of, and that's what's going to be in play here with this market. As you can see, for the longest time, it's been at $14. It's been at $14 now forever and not going anywhere. You're just at $14. Big whoop. It's not going anywhere. Okay? What can I tell you? Trading vehicle, as a trading vehicle, it sucks. There's nothing there. There's no volatility whatsoever. It's just blah. Moving on. All right, looking at Wells Fargo, pretty much similar story. about the Kumo cloud, but not really bullish, man. It's coming off now. I should tell you something. Market supported at 47.47, but it's in the Kumo cloud, so that's a danger zone. That's the Kumo cloud of death. So, got to deal with that. Got to think about where this could be headed. I'll give you one last hint. All right, looking at FAS, your financial sector ETF. All right, the big Willie. All right, you're well supported at 28.58, coming down to test that right now. It is bullish, but look at the slant of this one. Momentum's coming off. Don't like the way the Kumo cloud is pretty much a vapor and not really a cloud. This is going to be interesting because of all the saber rattling, all the talking heads and the media about what's going on in the financial banking sectors. It cannot be ignored. I know that you can't trade with fundamental analysis, but when things are going the way they're going, the way the world is today, you cannot ignore it. So the price action tells you what you need to know, but you can't ignore the other things, okay? So I'm just saying. I know you got to trade with the trend. You got to do what you got to do. But right now, if you're long this fast, your 28.58 is your stop on the daily chart. And that's where you're going to be looking to take profit. All right? You cannot ignore it. Ignore it at your own risk. And that's all I'm saying. So remember, bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. So take what you can, give nothing back. Peace. And then we're going to go down and test the lows. Momentum's coming down. It's getting into the oversold, but it's not there yet. All right, it has a lot much lower that it can go before you're done. Another thing to point out too with this oil though is notice how the trend lines are below the Kumo cloud. You think it was going to pop up and now it's being beaten down, it's being sold again just like it did when it came popped its head up back here. And even though it's coming off now and it's still well supported at $40.47, the problem is that you're in a positive pulse wave cycle right now. But thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Wednesday, August the 10th, 2016. As you can see here, looking at a chart of the crude oil, big head fake here at the coming at the latter part of the trading session. But can it get past the $42.72 resistance? You're going to need to close above that. If it can't, then this $40.47 support is it's going to just come cut down through it like a hot knife through butter, and that's going to be the end of your bull run in the oil. And we're in a well-defined bearish pattern now. So all this backup in here is over with. You're now below the Kumo cloud and accelerating to the downside. Not a good place to be if you're looking to be long the oil. All right, switching to the equity side of things, you can see here OIH is